Hey guys, it's Ryan with My Listing Club. In this video, I'm going to be introducing you to a new club partner, accoebs. We're going to run through a product that I recently implemented on my own site and I thought would be beneficial to the My Listing community as a whole, since we all run WooCommerce based websites, and WooCommerce is what accoebs specializes in. So I'm going to introduce you to this new partner. I'm going to introduce you to the solution I just referred to. I'm going to show you the deal for accoebs that they've given the community. Yeah, we're going to run through this, setting this up on a website so you can see how it goes. And then I'm also going to do a breakdown of the settings that I did not use when I implemented this myself. And we'll just go through those together and go over my thoughts on those. Okay, so I'll stop jabbering and we'll quickly get into this. From the My Listing Club website, just go up under menu and go under deals, and you'll see the 10% off deal for accoebs in there. It'll also, I'll quickly click into this, but as it says, they are an award-winning team of WordPress developers that specialize in WooCommerce. They've got, if you go to their website, they've got, which I could do real quick here, they've got a number of really well-coded, really popular products for WooCommerce. Some of these I'm pretty much guaranteed you've heard of before. So lightweight, amazing UX. These guys have won awards for UX design out there. So check them out. One thing I really want to point out that's important here is this discount that accoebs gave the club is only good until March 14th, at which time we're going to reevaluate the partnership and see if we can extend it or even deepen the partnership. So really important. I see a typo here I need to fix. Really important. Get your orders in before March 14th for any of these products. Just to ensure that you get this deal before it runs out. Okay. Outside of that deal, I also, in this video, I wrote a guide. So if you go to menu and then resources, you'll see a guide here for the deposits and partial payments for WooCommerce. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong one. That is actually a CSS code snippet, which I'll get into also. Under guides, you'll see this: easily set up payment plans for WooCommerce. Okay, so if we go into that, this is the guide that I'm going to be using for this video. It's reference for this video. Okay, so I'm going to pull this over to my screen and log in so I can actually see the content there for that guide. So, because the guides are available to club members. So I'm going to quickly log in over there. Thank you for your patience. All right, so I'm good there. I've got my instructions ready to go. Cool. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll get into this in just a second. Really quickly, again, so why I wanted to do this, why this particular product was on my radar. Starter sites have sold for $3.99 for a long time within the club. So I wanted to explore. I've always wanted to explore ways to allow people to pay for them in installments. So pay for them on a monthly basis, so they don't. It's a little easier on their wallet than paying that $400 right up front. They can pay a down payment and then pay monthly payments over time. Okay, so that's the reason. As part of doing that, I actually lowered the price of starter sites down to $3.19 if you just pay in full up front. So I won't get into the starter sites other than say, again, if I cannot give you guys any more value on these things when you factor in that price, the premium plugins that are included, and just the design and the build overall. So really check those out. I also extended this payment plan to the kits because aside from the starter sites, the kits are my next most expensive product, coming in at $79. So I did the same thing there, but instead of 12 payments, I did 6. So 12 months, 6 months. Okay, similar, same thing there. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get into this, the actual setup here. So I'm on a test my listing website, and I do not have the plugin installed as we see here. So the first thing we're going to do is just going to install the plugin. And again, we're working with the pro version, the paid version. So let's install that, activate it. And the instructions I'm showing you here is exactly how I did it for the club. And like I said, we're going to go over those settings that I did use and the settings that I didn't use. Okay. Okay, so we got the plugin installed. Then the next thing we want to do is go to deposits, and then license. This is assuming that you've bought it. You've got your license key. So let's assume that you've done that. You put your license key in and you activate it. Next up, we go to the general settings tab. We want to just toggle on enable deposits. Let's see, what did I do next? Deposit type. Enable deposits. Default selection was the next thing that I did, and I chose pay a deposit. Next step was, we'll go ahead and save our changes there. We'll jump over to the advanced settings tab. The next thing I set there was deposit reminder, enable partial payments reminder email. And then I set this to 3 days. So let me actually back up here. So let me explain the ones that I did set here as we go along, if it actually isn't self-explanatory. Okay, so the only thing I changed here on this tab was enable deposits. That's a no-brainer. The other one was the default selection. So that was this one, pay deposit. So if your options are pay in full and pay a deposit. So this one's a self-explanatory one. I wanted people to be able to pay a deposit for the products rather than paying full. So that's that really easy option there. Back under the advanced settings, I'm only allowing partial payments. I'm not doing I don't need to set a deposit reminder because I'm requiring, it's a little bit confusing on the wording, and I've actually reached out to them and told them, but and they've explained it to me. So I'll explain it to you kind of like in my terms. So this would be enable deposit for reminder email would be like, what if you didn't require the deposit day one, like I do? I require a 20% down payment, and then so that equals essentially the first month, and then there's 11 more monthly payments for the starter sites. So this setting would be if you want to delay that deposit, like maybe you give them 3 days and then you hit them with that bigger deposit sum. Okay, so that's what that would be. You would set that up and remind them and say 3 days. Hey, your initial big deposit is due. So that's what that would be for. So I'm not doing that. I'm just give me that deposit up front, 20%, and then I'm going to remind you in 3 days before your next monthly payment is due to pay that installment. So that's what these settings right here. Okay, I can't imagine this setting being used very often, but I could be wrong about that. But I don't know. Do what you got to do there. Okay, advanced settings, deposit reminder, did that. Toggle that on. Advanced settings, deposit reminder, days before reminder, we did that. Show deposit column and order table. So I toggled that on, this one right here. So what that's going to do in your WooCommerce orders table in your WordPress dashboard, it's actually going to create a column in there that's specifically for this plugin that keeps track of everything, the payments and whatnot. Let me actually see if I can give you guys a glimpse at that. Let me see. Bear with me 1 second here. Let's see. Let's go to orders. I think if I can do this. You know what? Let's just go ahead and... all right, I'll just explain it to you because for privacy reasons, I don't want to show people's order information, but I'm looking at it right now. It creates a deposit column, and then it gives a yes or no box, basically. That says whether that particular order was part of a deposit or a partial payment. And then it's actually linkable too. So you can click on the yes or no and it links directly to that order as well. Okay, so that's what that does. So I turn that on. So I have that in there. Okay, so let's go ahead and save our changes here. Let's jump over to, actually, that's it. That's all I did. That's all I did on this. Yeah, really easy stuff. Now, again, we're going to go through all of the settings that I didn't set there. Yeah, that's all I did. Okay. Payment plans. So that's another tab here under the plugins. So let's go there. We're going to click Add Payment Plan. We're going to put in a name just for the sake of this video. We'll call it Payment Plan. Save Payment Plan. Oh, yeah. So I missed something in my instructions. I'll go back and set that after this video, but we'll go ahead and cover that here. You can put a plan description in here just so you can remember what it's for if you want. You could put 12 easy payments and then in brackets, 20% down plus 11 monthly payments. That's what I do for the starter sites. So that's kind of your description to tell you what's going on. So for that, we would want to put, for the payment plan schedule, we want to put 20% down, and that's saying, hey, we want that immediately. That's our immediate deposit, 20% down. And then we want to space out these next payments over the next 12 months in my particular case. I can't remember what the percentage came out to be, but let's just hypothetically say it was, I think it was like 7%. So we're going to do every month, and we're going to click the plus sign to add it again after a month. And we're just going to keep repeating this process until we've got our 12 payments in here. But as you can see there, you can do days, weeks, months, years, whatever you want to do there. So it's really flexible. Another really cool thing it does here is you see it adds a total here. So it kind of helps guide you how well you're doing to get to that. You got to get to that 100%. So if you want to get paid in full, you want to make sure that this adds up to 100%. So you just keep working your way down through here. Okay, until you're done. And then once you've got that 100% worked out, however that works out for you, go ahead and click your Save Payment Plan. They're actually not allowing me to do that until I get to my 100. So for the purposes of this video, I'm just going to say 25% down, 25% after the next month, 25% after the next month, and then we'll do one more here, 25% after the next month. And then now you see it allows us to save it because our total is 100%. Okay, so total duration is 3 months. That's because we're taking 25% down in our first payment, and then we're doing 3 months worth of additional payments. Okay, so we're going to click Save Payment Plan there. And we've got that in there. Next thing we're going to do is assign the payment plans to products. So let's go over here to our products. We don't have any on this particular, it's just a test site. So I'm going to create one. We'll call this listing package 1. We'll make this virtual and downloadable so that it will autocomplete. The order will process automatically and show us completed. That's just like a little hidden trick to allow your orders in WooCommerce just to automatically process for listing packages. We're going to set this simple product. We're going to set it to a listing package. This particular site doesn't have WooCommerce subscriptions installed, but you could do the same thing with listing subscriptions. Oh yeah, so I take that back. So you actually need a code snippet. A total brain fart there, because MyListing out of the box doesn't give you that option to check virtual or downloadable. Anyway, that's getting like off into a side tangent, not a focus on what this video is about. But let's just say that your listing package was $1,200 for a year. Okay, so we put $1,200. The listing duration in this case would be 365. Again, this is not a subscription. This is using the default MyListing products. This is actually not super expensive. I've seen way more expensive plans on even some of my client sites and just some other sites out there. I've seen people charge $300 a month. I've seen $500. I've even seen $1,000 a month on certain things. It all depends on what it is that you're offering. Some people have some really crazy, powerful offerings out there. So in this particular case, we're charging $100 a month, which is not crazy expensive from the things that I've seen out there. But this is a high enough ticket priced item that we want to give people the option of paying for this in installments. So that's what we're doing here. Okay. So a 365-day, which is a 1-year duration. And then you can configure all the other stuff that you're already aware of with your listing packages. But the next thing we want to do is go to deposits. And we want to say, yeah, we definitely want to enable this with deposits. We want to force deposit here, because if you don't check this box, you may not want to check this. I'll show you what this looks like actually. So we'll uncheck this here. Deposit type, we want to do a payment plan. And we want to choose our payment plan that we created before. So we named that payment plan. You might want to if you have different payment plans, you probably want to rename these so they're easily for you to identify. Okay. But we'll go ahead and select that plan there and say publish. Okay. Let's look at this on the front end. And then we see here, it's going to default to pay deposit, but it's going to also give us that option to pay in full. Okay. How I did it on the club starter site is I did it in a unique way to where you click each button of the buy now, which I'll show you in a second. And then it gives you that toggle to where you can do like, hey, if you pay in full, I'm going to give you 20% off. So because of that, I actually hide this pay full amount option. So let me show you that. Go back to deposits and we just say force the deposit and update. So when we do this, we're going to see that this pay full amount here drops off. There we go. So you're putting them into the payment plan as their only option in this case. It depends on your site. It depends on your business. It depends on what you're trying to do. And a lot of cases, it probably makes sense to you if you're not giving a discount for paying in full. Go ahead and give them that option to pay in full here on this, okay? But once they click this payment plan thing here, it's kind of hard to see when you're just on light mode, but I'm going to show you a different design here in a second. And you can throw CSS at this really easily. I'll show you that too. But if they think to click on this, you see it breaks down their payment plan here. It would probably be a cool feature request from the guys behind this plugin to maybe offer an auto expand. So go ahead and expand this by default. So that might be a nice feature request to add for that. Okay, before we go further, let me show you what this looks like on mine. So if we go to, let me just pull this up here. If we go to the store on the club starter site, we see, so I have this toggle here. Payment plan is the default at full price, or sorry, at the regular price, but 20% down, 11 monthly payments. So if they were to click this buy now button, it's going to take them, it's going to automatically add this to the cart, the payment plan to the cart. And you'll see here that I only offer the pay deposit option, okay? Because they're paying in full here. If we were to go back and toggle this to the one-time payment, I'm saying, hey, if you pay in full, I'm going to give you 20% off, okay? So now if they click the buy now button, we see here it's the cheaper price because they're paying in full. All right. Okay, let's go back here and look at this. Yeah. Okay. So if you see here, the design is different. So because my site is more of a dark mode look, it is a dark mode look. I had to throw some CSS at this to make it look because I didn't want to use this light mode look with my dark mode site. This kind of gives you more of an impression that this is clickable. You could probably even add some text here somewhere that says click to expand. But if you compare it to this one, I wouldn't necessarily know that this is clickable, but you could throw CSS at this too to make it look more like a button. Okay, but you expand this and you see this look. I threw some CSS at this, and if you use the guide, there's a link to this, which is you can download this dark mode CSS package that will give you this exact look here. Okay, so the expanded and then this little pay deposit box here. It'll give you this exact look, and then of course you can change the colors to match your branding. Right, so that's another option. What else? Let me go back here to this guide. So I covered the outcome, how it looks, all of that. Okay, so the final piece here is let's look at those settings that I didn't select together, and we'll go through those. So let's go back to deposits. So we'll go through these really quick. Again, we're just going to focus on the ones I didn't choose. Require login. So if you toggle this on, they can't see this. It's just not there. So let's go ahead and just do that. I'm actually logged in. So let me pull this up in incognito here. There, so we see it's not even an option on here. So to me, I just don't understand. I wouldn't use that. Maybe I'm missing something there, but I want to show them that option at all times. So I wouldn't check that on if it were me. Kind of the same thing for user roles. Maybe you want to I just don't even know if this is worth the effort. It's possible if you were offering like an expensive discounted package for something and you wanted to hide the availability of them purchasing it based on their user role, I could see that maybe coming into play. I just didn't see the value for this myself. Enable deposits on the checkout page. We're already looking here at the cart, at the product page. And then if we add to cart, it's already going to be in our cart. So I didn't really see the need to put this on the checkout page as well. So I didn't do that. Deposit type. Yeah, I'm using a payment plan, so this doesn't really come into play. Yeah, deposit amount. This is just, you can set a default deposit amount here if you're using that. I'm not using the deposits. I'm just using payment plans. So again, payment plans is what I'm using here. I'm not using it. It's kind of confusing because it can be confusing. It's not for me now because I finally figured it all out, but the wording can be confusing. This can kind of come across like it's a deposit, and it kind of is, but it's actually your first installment payment rather than a deposit. That's why these settings for me don't really come into play, deposit type and deposit amount, because I'm just using the payment plan. So we went over this default selection, why I actually chose that. Order fully paid status. I have this set to processing. So especially with MyListing, you can't choose it as being a virtual or a downloadable product without adding custom code to your site. So those orders are automatically going to sit in a processing state. So unless you use a code snippet that says, hey, take these virtual orders from the MyListing listing packages or whatever, and set them to make them completed, this isn't going to work. So it's easier just to set it to processing and leave it there. That way you're always guaranteed to catch it. So up to you how you want to do that there. If you are selling something like a product, an expensive product, like let's hypothetically say you're selling a car for $20,000. That's when you would want to reduce the stock. This next setting, you would want to reduce it most likely on a full payment. I can't, on a MyListing site, I can't see this really coming into play very often. I'm not really sure how many MyListing websites are selling physical products that that you would have to worry about the stock or to set a payment plan at all. So that's probably why I just would ignore that if it were me. Disable payment gateways. This is another one. If you don't set this, it's just going to use the payment gateways that you've already got set in WooCommerce. So I didn't really need to set this, but I could see if maybe you're allowing one of these three options right here in addition to the other options like Stripe or PayPal. Maybe you want to, for this particular implementation of this plugin, you just want to make sure that people can't use those. Like, I see how that could be valuable, but in my case, I just said, hey, just use the gateways that I have enabled. All right, under advanced settings, disable future payments. This is just a way, if you click on this little tooltip, deny the customer from making any future payment beyond the deposit. Yeah, off the top of my head, I just can't see the use for that. Deny the customer from making any future payment behind. I guess that's just a way of ensuring that you're not overcharging your customers. I don't know. If you think of something there, let me know. Yeah. Deposit days after next payment. Only for deposit payments, leave blank for no limit. This is another one. I don't understand that one. These guys have documentation on this stuff too, and they're really responsive if you ask them, but I just don't see the need for those two personally. I already explained why I don't need the enable deposit email reminder. Show taxes in cart. I don't get into all that tax information, that tax stuff. If I was shipping personal goods and things of that nature, then I would definitely look at these for the taxes. But for what I do, I don't really need to get much into taxes. So that's why I ignored those two. Coupon handling. I would go with the default future payment here. Yeah, so it's basically like, how do you want your coupons to apply? Let's say you're also offering 10% off of this. So you have a listing package for $1,200. You're paying, 12 payments over a year. Then would you want to apply the coupon to the initial deposit? Which I'm not actually using here, but let's hypothetically say you were using the deposit method. Would you want the coupon to apply to the deposit or the future payments, or split between them? I think I would just go with the future payments. So essentially the coupon would just apply to this whole package of $1,200 in this case. Tax collection, same. When do you want to collect the taxes? I would think it would be with future payment again. Same with fees collection. Apply it to the future payments. Shipping and handling. Actually, let me go back here. Tax collection. Probably split, because I think I would want to attach to both, so it covers both. That could get a little dicey. Yeah, I'm not really sure there. I would ask these guys what their thoughts were on that, and plus talk to your accountant on that one. Same thing for the fees, most likely. This seems like something you want to split. So you got it. You maybe not though. Like, do you want to attach like an onboarding fee to the deposit or to the payments or to both? I'll let you guys think through that one too. Shipping and handling. I don't ship anything physical, so that's why I didn't mess with any of this. But again, it's back to, are you going to have physical products that are that expensive that you want to do this installment with in the first place? If you do you want to charge shipping and handling to when the deposit comes in, or the future payments, or do you want to split it across them? And then the shipping tax is the same thing. When do you want to apply that? All right, so we'll move on. That stuff is super boring, and I can't imagine. I don't know. Every business is different. I just can't wrap my head around me needing this stuff in particular. But labels and text, pay the deposit text. So if you expand, this is this text right here, pay deposit. So you can change that wording. Pay full amount. If you were allowing that, again, you're just changing the way that text reads. The deposit text, pay a deposit of. So if we expand this, I'm not doing deposits. So if we did, this would change that text, how that reads. This description, actually, if you're wondering where this comes from, this is that description of your actual payment plan. So let's open that up. So that's where this is coming from, that description. The title is payment plan. So that's where that title right there comes from. Okay, what else? Checkout and order. So if we go now to our cart, let's see here. To pay text, we're saying due today. I think that, yeah, here we go. So due today, that's where that text is. You can change that. Future payments text. So let's go back. Future payments right there. So that one, and the text that appears here as well. Pretty simple stuff. You can go here and just change all the wording. This is the text that's going to appear in email. You're going to get a payment link. Category deposits. So you can add rules in here based on the category of the product. So however you want to do that. I don't have any product categories in here right now. Otherwise, those would show up here. So you can apply, different deposit rules based on the product category. User role deposits, same thing. You can add rules based on the different user roles on your website. So maybe you want to be more flexible with your shop managers or subscribers versus your customers, however you want to build that out. But really cool flexibility there. And then email settings here, you can click in to each of these, and you're going to get, with this plugin, you're going to get different email templates. So let's break out these actual templates here. So they're all identified here by accoebs. So you're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you can edit those however you want. Okay, I think that about covers it, guys. And then obviously the last one is the license, but really flexible, simple. What I love about it is it's simple. Like it didn't take much to get going out of the box, getting this thing configured. But you can see that if you want to make it more complex and more powerful, it's easy to do so. It's really simple screens to work through, nothing overly complex. It's just in some cases understanding these more, as it's called, advanced settings. Understanding some of these more advanced settings is important, obviously. From my experience reaching out to these guys, they are super responsive and helpful. So there's that helps. Okay, I hope this was useful. I'll end this by saying there's always something I like to say to people that knows me is, you want to sell something 100 times for a better deal, which in this case is a payment plan is the deal. Do you want to reach more customers, or do you want to reach zero customers because your product is so expensive that it's just off the table for some people? So do you want to make some sales? You want to make no sales? That's kind of the question. You got to ask yourself. And this plugin is already very inexpensive for the return, $39 per year, and then you get $10 through the club, assuming you get that purchase before that deal ends on March 14th of this year. But $39 for 1 year is already an amazing deal. Get that other 10% off if you want. Start reaching those other customers that may have otherwise not been able to purchase because of that high upfront cost. Okay. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please click subscribe so you know of my next videos that are coming out. And if you have an idea for a video you want me to create, just let me know, or somebody you want me to try and partner with. But yeah, check out accoebs and take care. Bye-bye.